She left a million-dollar law career for Army intelligence. Family disappointed, colleagues confused, military skeptical. Doesn't know what she wants. Judgment was widespread. Until that October night in Ramadi, when identity crisis became clarity. Combination of legal analysis and military training created the perfect hostage negotiator-operator hybrid. 12 lives saved in a single mission. Alexandra Sterling's story began at the prestigious Sterling & Associates law firm in Boston. After graduating from Harvard Law School, she was expected to continue the family tradition. As a third-generation lawyer, a brilliant future in corporate law awaited her. But she had chosen a different path. At 27, she left her partnership track position to join Army intelligence, shocking her family. "Why are you risking a safe, prestigious career?" they had asked. Her Harvard classmates didn't understand. "Aren't the Sterling millions enough?" they whispered. But Alexandra had a bigger purpose in mind. During her work on international law and human rights, she wanted to see how theoretical knowledge applied in practice. Army intelligence could make this combination possible. Her first days at Fort Huachuca Military Intelligence Center in Arizona weren't easy. The other trainees were mostly young soldiers aged 22 to 23 who came directly from college. Alexandra was 27, a lawyer with an Ivy League background. "What's the princess doing here?" she heard them whispering. Instructor Staff Sergeant Mike Rodriguez looked at the class on the first day and spotted Alexandra. "Sterling, I heard you came from Harvard. Here we learn real-world intelligence work, not academic theory. Are you sure you can keep up?" Alexandra straightened up and replied, "Yes, Sergeant. I'm ready to learn." The first weeks were tough. She fell behind others in physical training and struggled with weapons training. But she made her difference known in psychological profiling and human behavior analysis classes. Sterling's legal background provides an advantage in interrogation techniques, her instructor noted. The persuasion skills she learned in the courtroom work here too. When Alexandra's talents were noticed, she was given specialized training. She was sent to the FBI's hostage negotiation program. During the 8 weeks she spent at Quantico, she learned the intersection of psychology and tactical operations. "Negotiation isn't just talking," said lead instructor Agent Sarah Chen. "It requires the perfect combination of psychology, tactical awareness, and timing. Sterling, your legal background is a natural fit for this area." But there were still skeptics. "Lawyer brain is too analytical," some instructors said. "Overthinking can be dangerous in real hostage situations." Alexandra heard these criticisms but didn't lose her determination. She tried to show better performance in every simulation. She applied the case analysis skills she learned at Harvard to tactical scenarios. After 18 months of training, Alexandra was deployed to Iraq. She received an assignment to an Army intelligence unit at Forward Operating Base Liberty. Her first duty was regional threat assessment and local population engagement. Sterling came from Harvard, introduced Commander Colonel James Morrison. Intelligence analysis and negotiation specialist. If you have any doubts, look at her performance. But veteran soldiers in the unit were still skeptical. Master Sergeant Tony Guerrero, a 3-tour veteran, spoke frankly. "Ma'am, I respect your education, but here bullets are real, threats are immediate. Academic knowledge sometimes doesn't translate in the real world." Alexandra expected these challenges. "Sergeant, you're right. What I need to prove is my performance here. If you give me the opportunity, I'm ready to contribute." During the first months, Alexandra participated in routine intelligence-gathering missions, meetings with local informants, interviews with detained suspects, threat assessment reports. Slowly but surely, she was building credibility. During one interrogation, she was interviewing a detained insurgent leader. Conventional interrogation methods had failed. Alexandra tried an approach from her legal background. "Tell me about your family," she began the conversation. Using psychological profiling techniques, she tried to understand the subject's motivation. 3 hours later, she had obtained critical intelligence, the location, timing, and involved personnel of the planned attack. Thanks to the information, a major terrorist attack was prevented. "Sterling's approach is different but effective," Guerrero reported. "Legal training provides an advantage in interrogation." It was mid-October. Alexandra had been in Iraq for 8 months and had earned respect in the unit. That night, everything changed. At 11:30 p.m., the alarm sounded. "Hostage situation. American contractors captured. Immediate response required." 12 American civilian contractors had been kidnapped by insurgents on the outskirts of Ramadi. They were working on a construction project and fell into an ambush during a routine convoy. Colonel Morrison gave the briefing. "Intelligence suggests 15 to 20 insurgents. Heavily armed. Compound is fortified. Conventional assault poses high casualty risk for both hostages and our forces." "Is there a negotiation option?" Alexandra asked. "Sterling, you'll be the lead negotiator. Guerrero, tactical support. Thompson, sniper overwatch. Rest of the team, perimeter security." For the first time, she was taking a lead role in a major operation. Heart rate elevated, but mind was clear. While approaching the compound, Alexandra was analyzing the tactical situation. Her legal mind systematically broke down the problem. "We need to understand the insurgents' psychology," she briefed the team. "Motivation, political, economic, or personal revenge? What are the leverage points? What are their exit strategies?" Guerrero was impressed. "Ma'am, this approach is new for me. Usually we do direct action planning." "Sergeant, direct action is the last resort. We should try a bloodless solution first." When they took position outside the compound, Alexandra took the megaphone and made the first contact attempt. "This is Lieutenant Sterling, U.S. Army. I want to talk about peaceful resolution." The response came quickly. "American soldiers. You have 2 hours. We want prisoner exchange. Ahmed Rashid released, or contractors die." Ahmed Rashid. Alexandra immediately recalled intelligence files. High-value target, captured 3 months ago. Prisoner exchange was politically impossible. Alexandra spread maps and intelligence files in the portable command post. She began applying the case analysis methodology she learned at Harvard. "Guerrero, tell me everything about Ahmed Rashid." "High-value target, bomb maker, family man, 3 kids, captured during night raid, clean capture, no casualties." Alexandra began connecting the pieces. "Family man, this is personal, not just political, not a leadership approach, but a personal loss angle." She contacted the insurgent leader via radio. "I understand Ahmed Rashid's importance to you. Let's talk about alternatives." "No alternatives. Release Ahmed or contractors die." "I hear pain in your voice. Is Ahmed important to you personally?" Pause. Then, "Ahmed is my brother." Breakthrough moment. Alexandra knew from legal training. Identifying emotional investment was critical in negotiation. Alexandra changed her approach. Like speaking to a jury in a courtroom, she tried to establish an emotional connection. "I understand, brother love. Family connections are sacred, but contractors also have families. Children waiting for fathers to come home. Ahmed's children haven't seen their father for 3 months. True, injustice is painful, But more deaths won't bring Ahmed home faster. We can find a different path. Guerrero was quietly impressed. Ma'am, you're talking like a therapy session. Alexandra gave a subtle signal for silence. The negotiation was in a delicate phase. I can arrange legal representation for Ahmed. Fair trial, proper defense, rights protected in military court. Americans always lie. I'm a lawyer. I'm under legal oath to tell the truth. I can give you a written guarantee. 1:45 a.m. 45 minutes left until the deadline. Alexandra was making progress, but the insurgents were still stubborn. Colonel Morrison contacted via radio. Sterling, time is running out. Assault team is ready. Your call. Sir, we're close to a breakthrough moment. I'm requesting more time. Negative, 30 minutes max, then we go kinetic. Alexandra felt the pressure, but maintained focus. She had learned in legal training. Calm thinking was essential in crucial moments. She contacted the insurgent leader. Listened carefully. I can accelerate Ahmed's trial date. Court hearing within 2 weeks. International observers present. Fair process guaranteed. Not enough. Ahmed is innocent. Then the trial will prove innocence. Evidence will be presented. If innocent, release is automatic. The pause was longer this time. Alexandra's heart was pounding, but she kept her voice steady. 30 minutes to decide. After that, other options will be considered. Alexandra tried a different approach. She applied the human rights principles she learned during constitutional law studies at Harvard. What would Ahmed's wife and children think about this situation? Do they want more violence, or their father's safe return? How do you know about the family? Because I understand family love. During the years I worked in the legal system, I saw many families struggle for justice, but the revenge cycle breaks families. It doesn't heal them. The emotional tone of the conversation changed. Alexandra sensed the breakthrough moment approaching. You're Ahmed's brother, right? You want to protect him. But more American deaths will make Ahmed's situation worse, not better. What guarantee can you give? Written legal document, International Red Cross witness, Ahmed's rights protected, fair trial guaranteed, and pause for effect. If evidence is insufficient, charges will be dropped. 2:20 a.m. 10 minutes left. Alexandra made her final push. Let 12 innocent men return to their families. Let Ahmed get a fair trial through the legal process. No more blood tonight. Long silence. Then, how do we know you'll keep your promise? Professional reputation is at stake. Harvard lawyer, U.S. Army officer. Breaking a promise means career end, too much risk to lie. Another pause. Alexandra held her breath. Contractors will be released. But Ahmed's trial date guaranteed? Preliminary hearing within 2 weeks. Written documentation provided immediately. Agreed. Guerrero looked at Alexandra with a shocked expression. Ma'am, how did you... Legal mind applied to tactical situations, Sergeant. Human psychology plus systematic negotiation. 12 contractors came out of the compound. The medical team did an immediate check. Minor injuries, but all alive. Alexandra prepared a written agreement with the insurgent leader. She drafted the document according to international law principles. Both sides signed. Sterling, said Colonel Morrison, remarkable work. 0 casualties, peaceful resolution. How? Sir, combination of legal training and military tactical understanding. Human psychology is universal, whether in the courtroom or on the battlefield. Master Sergeant Guerrero approached. Ma'am, respect. Apology for initial skepticism. Tonight proved that different backgrounds are valuable assets for the team. After the mission, Alexandra's performance received official recognition. She was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for exceptional performance under pressure. Lieutenant Sterling demonstrated remarkable integration of legal expertise and military tactical acumen, the citation read. Peaceful resolution saved 12 American lives and prevented a diplomatic crisis. But more importantly, the perception in the unit had completely changed. She earned the nickname Judge for her legal background and tactical decision-making ability. Sterling is no longer just a lawyer, said Guerrero, complete military professional, legal brain in a military body. Alexandra's success attracted attention in Army intelligence. She was offered an instructor position in the hostage negotiation training program. She developed a new approach called the Sterling Method, a methodology for applying legal analysis techniques to military scenarios. Traditional negotiation is reactive, she explained in the training sessions. Legal approach is proactive. Systematic analysis, evidence-based arguments, understanding human psychology. Federal agencies showed interest in the methodology. FBI, State Department, and CIA representatives attended training sessions. Judge Sterling's approach is a paradigm shift, said the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit Chief. Academic rigor combined with military practicality. 6 months after the Ramadi mission, Alexandra testified at a congressional hearing. The House Armed Services Committee had requested a briefing on hostage negotiation tactics. Representative Johnson, combining legal background with military service may seem unconventional, she began her testimony. But human psychology has universal constants. Jury persuasion techniques from the courtroom are applicable for hostage negotiators on the battlefield. The committee chairman was impressed. Captain Sterling, your methodology saved not just those 12 lives. You've created a blueprint for future operations. CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC requested interviews. Harvard to Iraq, lawyer becomes military hero. Headlines appeared in major media. Alexandra Sterling proves that career change is never too late. She was featured in a CNN special. Legal expertise combined with military courage achieves unprecedented success. Alexandra's success attracted international attention. NATO Special Operations Headquarters requested her to develop a training program for European alliance partners. She received a 3-month assignment at NATO headquarters in Belgium. She taught the Sterling method to British SAS, German KSK, and French GIGN operators. Brilliant combination, said British SAS Major William Hartley. Legal systematic analysis merged with military tactical understanding. Revolutionary approach for hostage negotiations. French GIGN Colonel Pierre Dubois added, Captain Sterling's method is changing how we approach crisis situations. Academic rigor balanced with practical application. When she completed the training program, it was adopted as NATO's standardized procedure. The methodology was given the official name Sterling Doctrine. Ma'am, said German KSK Hauptmann Klaus Müller, your method has already saved lives across multiple nations. The international impact is incredible. After returning from the NATO assignment, Alexandra decided to expand her academic credentials. She started a part-time PhD program at Georgetown University, with a concentration in international security studies. Dissertation topic: Legal Psychology Applications in Military Crisis Negotiations, a Systematic Analysis. Sterling's research is groundbreaking, said Dr. Margaret Chen, her dissertation advisor. She's building a bridge between the academic world and military practice in a unique way. She took classes at Georgetown in the evenings and performed Army intelligence duties during the days. It was a demanding schedule, but Alexandra thrived on the challenge. The identity crisis years ago was my biggest blessing, she reflected to her classmates. It forced me to find the intersection of different interests and skills. For her research, she visited multiple conflict zones. She conducted field research in Afghanistan and did follow-up interviews with rescued hostages in Iraq. Captain Dr. Sterling, joked her thesis defense committee. Dual expertise is rare and valuable in the academic military world. Parallel to her PhD studies, Alexandra was assigned increasingly complex missions, multinational hostage situations, diplomatic crisis negotiations, international incident resolutions. In 2021, a hijacked cargo ship incident occurred in Somalia. 45 international crew members were taken hostage. The conventional military approach posed high risk for civilian casualties. Sterling, the lead negotiator position is yours, said General Patricia Woods from Joint Special Operations Command. International stakes are high, diplomatic implications are serious. There were 15 different nationalities among the hostages on the ship. Alexandra developed a multi-language approach. She had learned basics of French, Spanish, and Arabic at Georgetown. Psychological profiling shows religious motivation, she analyzed in the briefing. Economic demands are secondary. Respect and recognition are the primary motivation. We can provide a legal framework through international law. After 72 hours of negotiation, all hostages were peacefully released. Through the application of international maritime law provisions, a face-saving solution was arranged for the hijackers. Captain Sterling's approach prevented an international incident, reported the UN Maritime Organization. Legal diplomacy combined with military tactics, exemplary crisis resolution. As success stories accumulated, Alexandra took a formal teaching role at the Army War College. She developed an advanced crisis negotiation course for young officers. Class, traditional military training emphasizes direct action, she lectured, but sometimes indirect approach is more effective. Systematic thinking, understanding human psychology, legal framework knowledge, the combination is powerful. Students were initially skeptical. "Ma'am, won't a complex academic approach be slow in a real crisis?" asked Lieutenant Martinez. "Excellent question, Martinez. Practice makes perfect. Academic training speeds up the analysis process, provides a systematic framework for quick decisions. Let me show you a case study." She did a detailed breakdown of the Ramadi mission for the students. Step-by-step analysis, decision trees, psychological assessment techniques. "Wow, ma'am," said Captain Thompson. "The structure helps clarify the thinking process under pressure." Course evaluations consistently received the highest ratings at the Army War College. "Sterling's teaching is transformative," students commented. "Career-changing perspective." In the 8th year of military service, private sector opportunities began to emerge. Fortune 500 companies requested crisis management consulting. Corporate hostage situations are different, but similar principles apply, she explained to potential clients. Employee disgruntlement, workplace violence, international business disputes. Systematic approach is effective in every scenario. A major oil company hired her consultancy to rescue kidnapped executives in Venezuela. 3 American engineers had been held hostage for 2 weeks. She established a Sterling Consulting Company for the combination of legal advice and crisis negotiation. She began civilian consulting work while maintaining military reserve status. "Captain Sterling has a unique background," said the ExxonMobil security director. "Legal expertise, military training, international experience. This package is not available anywhere else. The Venezuelan case achieved successful resolution. Engineers returned safely. Company operations resumed. Local community relations improved. Dr. Sterling's approach created a win-win solution, testified company executives. Not just rescue, but long-term stability established in the region. Years of high-pressure situations, academic research, and international exposure significantly shaped Alexandra's worldview. Identity crisis in young adulthood turned out to be a blessing in disguise, she reflected in a guest lecture at Georgetown. It forced systematic examination of personal values, career goals, life purpose. She gave a speech at Harvard Law School reunion. Classmates, success is not limited to the traditional path. Unconventional combinations create unique value. Former classmates were amazed by her transformation. Sterling became an international crisis expert instead of a corporate law partner. They expressed amazement. Sometimes identity crisis becomes identity solution, she developed the philosophy. Integration of multiple interests rather than compartmentalization. She became a mental health awareness advocate in the military community. Identity confusion is a normal human experience, she presented to military counselors. Career changes are opportunities for growth, not signs of failure. Alexandra's impact was expanding beyond individual missions. Institutional change, training programs, international protocols, systematic influence. The Sterling Doctrine was adapted beyond NATO standardization to UN peacekeeping operations. It provided a framework for improving international crisis response coordination. Captain Sterling's contribution is immeasurable, stated the UN Secretary-General. The combination of academic military expertise set new standards for international crisis management. She started a book-writing project, From Confusion to Clarity, A Legal Mind in Military Service. Major publishing houses showed publisher interest. The story will inspire young people to consider career transitions, she explained to her literary agent. Remove the stigma of identity crisis, present it as an opportunity. Speaking engagements increased at universities, military academies, and international conferences. She received a TED Talk invitation, When Identity Crisis Becomes Identity Solution. Looking back 5 years after the Ramadi mission, Alexandra made a comprehensive evaluation of her life journey. That October night was a fundamental turning point. She recalled the critical mission. I realized that legal training wasn't wasted. Military service was meaningful, and the combination created a powerful tool. She addressed students in her final lecture at the Army War College. Young officers, don't fear unconventional backgrounds. Unique perspectives are valuable assets for the team. Different thinking patterns create innovative solutions. She received a standing ovation from the students. Colonel Sterling is an inspiration, students wrote in evaluation forms. Proves that non-traditional paths can lead to success. She successfully completed her PhD defense at Georgetown. Her dissertation received unanimous approval from the committee. The title, Doctor. Colonel Sterling was officially achieved. The combination of academic and military expertise is rare, said the dissertation committee chair. A model has been established for future generations. A final thought as she spoke as guest speaker at a Harvard Law School commencement. Graduates' career paths don't have to be linear. Embrace identity questions, explore them, integrate them. Sometimes confusion is the beginning of clarity. Have you ever felt lost between different interests, unsure which path to choose? She addressed the audience. Remember Alexandra Sterling. Sometimes identity crisis becomes your greatest strength when you learn to combine rather than choose. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story of transforming confusion into strength resonates with you, consider subscribing for more tales of people who found their power in the intersection of different worlds. Stories remind us that our questions don't always need immediate answers. Sometimes they need integration, combination, and time to reveal their hidden connections.